Hmm. Well, hi and good morning, everybody, and welcome once again. It's a Friday morning, and we're coming to you directly from New York City, as we always do each week. My name is Frank Allan, and the name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. And we're going to be here for a whole full hour, as we are every week, from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern. And if you happen to be in another time zone, of course, you're going to want to set your clocks accordingly to make sure you're on the right note. We're so glad to have you aboard with us, and of course, we make time for all of you each week as we come into your homes, we come into your workplaces, we come into all of the places where you may be. And you may be just waking up, you may be ready to go to bed because we're in different time zones and we're all around the world, we're globally. Wherever you are, we're right there with you. And we're here on Facebook Live. We're also here on YouTube Live, and we're also on Instagram Live. All of those three places together. So if you can't catch us on one, you could always catch us on the other. So glad to have you aboard with us. Later on in the program, of course, as you already know, we're going to be bringing Brian Camp along directly from Charlotte, North Carolina. He's going to be phoning in with his part of the 2020 feature. And that's, of course, the latest developments in today's world of sports on his show, Sports Update. And 20 to the hour, that second part of the 2020 feature, it's DJ Pete, of course, with the entertainment news and reciting all of those birthdays of all of those marvelous people who are in the industry. However, Pete is not going to be here today, so we're going to fill in for him. Pete, of course, is doing something constructive, like working. Well, he puts us down like that. He says, later for you guys. No, he's going to, we're going to fill in for him, and we hope wherever he is, everything is safe with him. So we thank you guys for being along with us. And of course, we're going to get started with the show as we always do. So let's raise our cups, our glasses, and drink our beverages, whatever it may be in the morning to get you a jump start. Mine is coffee, of course. So excuse me while I shoot up. Mm, delicious. Delicious. Great cup of coffee. Well, anyway, we're going to be here, of course, as I said. And those of you who are coming in, we thank you. We love to hear from you. If you have something to say, you can join in on conversation. You have any questions or anything, and you just want to say hello. We always want to entertain your thoughts and ideas about the show if you have any. And if you're just sitting out there idle, that's okay too, as long as you're there. And because, whatever time you could spare with us, we really would appreciate it. So thank you so much for being along with us. And those of you who are here for the very first time, we have a protocol here. If you're coming in from another country or another state or another city somewhere, please, give us your weather forecast. That's what we do. That's not mandatory. That's just something that we ask you to do if you're coming in for the first time. So we want to thank you for that. I will give you the weather forecast of New York City. So if you're in New York City and you're chiming in, don't worry about it. I will take care of all of that. And we've got it all planned out for you. And later on in the program, too, we are going to have those great movies that you love so much. My pick of the week for the weekend, Turner Classic Movies, all of those classic movies that you love, we'll have that and a whole lot more. And of course, we'll be reciting those birthdays, too, that come along with DJ Pete's part of the show, which we will be taking care of too. So here we are once again. And of course, we thank you for being along with us. So I want to take time to say hello to all of you guys on Facebook. I see you coming in there. I see you. I say thank you so much. And all of you guys there on Instagram. They're out there just taking it easy. Okay. Now, I want you to know that this is going to be the last show for the next 2 weeks. Because as you know, next weekend is Thanksgiving holiday weekend. So we're going to be taking off Thanksgiving Day for when we do Talk Back Live on Thursday night. We're taking that off, and we're going to take off the following day, which is a Friday. And that's the second day of Thanksgiving. We're taking that whole weekend off along with you. So a lot of you people, thank you so much for being along with us. And just keep that in mind. We'll tell you more about that as the show goes on. But again, once again, excuse me while I shoot up. Okay, there we go. A lot is happening. And if you joined us on our show last night, Talk Back Live, we had a lot to say about the COVID-19. So first of all, we want to thank all of those people who have, whether they volunteered or are they employed in the hospitals, all of the doctors, nurses, all of those great people, the first responders, police officers, the firefighters, all of those guys, all of you guys who run transit. You drive the trains and the subways and the buses, and you pick people up to and fro, work, school, wherever the destination is. We want to thank you for just sticking it out all of this time. Things just kept operating, even though the pandemic was on, and it's still on, by the way. It's still on, so we want you to know that. And those of you who haven't received your vaccinations, please do. You know, it's important. We push it. That's not something that we're telling you to do. We're just asking you to do it because we believe in it, and we believe that it's safe and effective, and it will save a lot of lives this year. Now, you know that the cold wave is coming up, which makes people more vulnerable to the disease if they have not been vaccinated. So if you haven't been, please do. And those of you who have been vaccinated, fully vaccinated, we've got some good news on the line for you. Just this morning, the news came out that the FDA authorized Pfizer and Moderna vaccination boosters for all adults. All adults, no longer 65 and up. All adults now can go get vaccinated, get their booster shots. All adults, it's available now. So with that news, the FDA, thank you FDA for bringing that out. So Pfizer and Moderna, all of you guys, all adults, children, it's all available now. All you have to do is apply yourself. So that's good news on the front right there. Now, if you don't know where to go to get vaccinated, there are places to go. They're all over the place. There are a lot of centers and tents built on the corners of your streets, and they're there to maybe not vaccinate you, but give you the test, because I never have seen vaccinating tents. They could be, I don't know. I haven't seen any. But there are centers. And if you don't know where to go, there's always a place if you go locally, right? All you have to do is a matter of Googling to find out exactly where these places are. And their telephone numbers too. Now, I have a telephone number, which is a local number in New York City that I display each week for each and every one of you. Now, if you're watching us on Facebook, the information is up top or over here or down here, over here, depending on how you're watching the show. If you're watching us on YouTube, look in the chat area at the very top. That information is right there. It's the COVID-19 test. And that number I am going to give to you guys who are watching us on Instagram, because it's not displayed there. You can't see it. So I am going to orally relay all of that information to you right now. That number for COVID-19 test is 718-638-7682. That's 718-638-7682. You can call that number 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Someone will be there to answer all of the questions that you may have about COVID-19. The good news is coming everywhere. Good news all around. So please, ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to take, if you're working at one of those essential jobs, you know, some places they have options whether or not you want to stay on your job. So you either take, be vaccinated or take the test once a week, which, by the way, will be on your time and on your schedule, and you would have to go produce that each week to your employee. And so that's the option that you have. I'm sorry to have to come down to that, but this is the way we have to protect all of us. Now, if you have children, you know better. You know, if you have children living in your household, you want to protect them along with your husband, your wives, everyone who's living in your household. You protect me too. I protect you. You continue to wear your mask, use your hand sanitizer, because as I said, this winter wave is coming along, and that strengthens the virus in the air. So we want to make sure everyone's safe. And now that you know the fact that the FDA authorized gave us the green light for Pfizer and Moderna to go booster people at any age, any adult age. It's right there, and all you have to do is apply yourself. Some places you can go and you can be, I guess you can make an appointment or you can walk right in, depending on whatever. And I'm pretty sure there are a lot of pharmacies that have available vaccines. Maybe your primary doctor has a supply of vaccines. You could take it there. Also, we're in the season of the flu, so therefore you should take your flu shots as well. And you can take your flu shots, and I would recommend that whatever shot you take first, you're going to want to make 2 or 3 weeks separate. Wait till about 2 or 3 weeks before you take the following shot. And so because the flu shot is not going to take care of the coronavirus, nor will the coronavirus shot, the vaccine will take care of the flu. So you have to take them separate. But when you do, make sure that it's 3 weeks apart, at least 3 weeks apart before you take the next shot. And of course, we recommend that you do that. So there you go. You have all that information. And if you have further information, again, call the number that I gave you. Those of you who are watching Facebook and YouTube, the information is right there for you. For all of you guys who are watching us on Instagram, that number again is 718-638-7682. That's 718-638-7682. Thank you so much. And we got here in New York, we had great temperatures yesterday in New York City. The temperatures were great yesterday. It was almost like we reached almost 70 degrees. We didn't quite make 70 degrees. The highest we went yesterday was 69 degrees, and that was pretty high for this time of the year. And now here we are, we're back in the deep freeze almost. And I have the weather forecast for those of you who are in New York. I'm going to give that to you right now. For those of you who are around us in certain parts of the country, when you come in and you want to talk to us, please give us your weather forecast. First of all, before I do, I want to say hello to Naoto. He's out there. And great evening to you. And he's coming out of Kobe, Japan. And he's out there. And let's see. I see Naota gave us some sports news, but I'm going to leave that to Brian. Brian can see that, what you just said there, and I'm not going to even utter it. So I'm going to let Brian take care of that. But thanks a lot, Naoto. But anyway, Naoto gave us a weather forecast, and his weather forecast in Kobe, Japan, and it's clear. It's nighttime there. It's clear. It's 52 degrees right now, and he's got 2.5 miles per hour winds. Is that gusty? That's pretty gusty, isn't it? And that's northwest winds. So thank you so much for all of that. And Brian Camp is out there. Thank you, Brian, for being there. And all of you guys, wherever you are, I see my good friend Steve LeBeau, who I've known for many, many years. Many years. And we worked together. And we became good friends over the years, worked in radio together, of course. And Steve, it's always great to see you. I hope you're doing well out there. Say hello to Christina for me. I would appreciate that. And let's see, I see more people there. They're coming in, more people, and even idle people are there. So I'll just wave to you guys. All of you guys there, right there on Facebook. And also right there, I see right there on Instagram. Hello to my good friend Myers. That's Duncan Myers. I could see. I'm putting it together because when they come up, it's a code name. It says D63 Myers, but I just happen to know this guy. And great to see you, Duncan. Great to see you out there. I hope everything is well where you are. You keep on riding that motorcycle, baby. Great to have you aboard with us. And for the rest of you, too. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you that weather forecast that I promised you. Again, this is all forecast over there. He's watching us on Instagram. Give us a summary of your weather forecast out there. We'd like to know that. And while you're doing that, I am going to give you mine. So as I said, it's 43 degrees here in New York City, and it's a few showers early with bright sunshine by the afternoon. That's happening today. I haven't seen any rain yet. All I see right now is sunshine, and I hope it stays that way. I haven't seen it. It just says a few showers early with bright sunshine by the afternoon. It's not even afternoon here yet, and the sun is already out. We're going to have a high about 49 degrees. 49 degrees. Winds will be northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Chance of rain will be 30%. Haven't seen it. I hope and stay away. Don't send it over here. We don't need it. Okay. It's bad enough that it's chilly outside right now, but right now it's 43 degrees. Let's see. For tonight, clear skies, clear to partly cloudy skies. We have a low 34 degrees. Winds will be northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And for Saturday, tomorrow, it will be mostly sunny skies. I look forward to that. When was the last time we had a great sunny sky on a Saturday? For the past couple of weeks. Yeah, well, it's going to be sunny skies for Saturday and becoming mostly cloudy later in the day. I knew there was a catch somewhere. We'll have a high around 48 degrees. Winds will be light and variable. But it doesn't say anything about any wet weather. No rain so far. Saturday night, cloudy, low 42 degrees. And winds will be light and variable. And as we wrap up our weekend, Sunday will be cloudy. And we'll have a high near 55 degrees. Winds will be south-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And repeating that, current temperature is 43 degrees. Now, I can look further ahead. Those of you who may want to know anything about Thanksgiving, you got the Thanksgiving holiday weekend coming up. Now, Thanksgiving Day, I'm looking forward to this. And I see weather-wise, so far, Thanksgiving looks good. It's going to be partly cloudy. We'll have a high of 55 degrees. But and Friday, the following day, is the same thing, 55 degrees both days. So Thanksgiving is going to be good. No wet weather so far, but that's like next week. It may change. You never know. But let's keep our fingers crossed and hope it stays where it is right now, maybe even better as it come along. So Thanksgiving is everybody's looking forward to it. And you're going to want to know that this holiday, after Thanksgiving, of course, Christmas comes around too. You know that, right? And of course, Christmas is one of the season things where people go out shopping and buy gifts and do things like that. People are looking forward to Christmas, but I got to tell you, prices are going to go sky high. So the best time to do your Christmas shopping is right now, and especially after Thanksgiving, the day after Thanksgiving, the Black Friday sales. You're going to want to start doing your shopping then, because you have the sales coming along right now. But I think after that, it may go downhill. So do all your Christmas shopping between now and Black Friday. And you might get some good bargains. You may not have to pay through the nose, which a lot of people will be doing if you wait beyond that. And so we're just helping you out. We're just helping you out. We hope that that's all good. So we got the weather forecast. Everything is coming up. If you're just joining us, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being with us. The name of the show is called The Coffee Hour, and we indulge in coffee, of course, and we get together and have conversation with all of you guys who are always with us and just taking care of business wherever you are. A lot of you guys are at work. Some of you guys are at home. Some of you guys are wherever you are watching. And if you're at work, you get that 15-minute coffee break, take that 15-minute coffee break and spend it with us. Stay at your desk. And then when the 15 minutes is over, you can still be watching us and doing what they call multitasking. And you could watch the show and drink coffee at the same time, or like chewing gum and walking at the same time. So there you go. There you go. And okay, I see more people coming in. There's more people on Instagram, more people there on Facebook. They're coming in, and they're, of course, all of my friends there watching us on YouTube. Before we get to sports, I want to tell you that if you are new to this show, and we advise you to stay with us, all right? Be part of the show. Now, all of you people who are watching us on Facebook, what I want you to do is tag your friends right now. We're 20 minutes, coming up 20 minutes into the show already. You have time to tag them, to bring them over to the side so they can watch and they can be part of us as well. If you're watching us on YouTube, what you want to do is subscribe to my YouTube channel. Do that. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Go there, subscribe. You can do it right now if you're watching us on YouTube, because that way, whenever we go on the air live or whenever we post something on YouTube, we will always get a chance to make you part of it. That way, you'll never miss a show. And whenever we come on live or we post something, we notify you. You get notifications. So that's one of the perks there. Now, those of you who are watching us on Instagram, thank you so much for being there. And all you have to do is follow us. Simple as that. Okay, so there you go. We're going to go to sports now. Over to Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm bragging about the weather so far. It's bright and sunny here right now. I'm bragging. I'm going to see what kind of bragging action that Brian is going to have over there in Charlotte, North Carolina, because the weather here is like totally sunny. What about for where you are?
Well, it's sunny, but it's not as warm as you think it is. It's 48 degrees. The high is only going to be 56 today.
Yeah.
So whatever cold front you're getting, we're going to get some of that.
Yeah.
But not as cold as New York. Maybe a little tad bit warmer in New York than it is any time else around the calendar year.
Yeah.
But it's sunny out here. It's really sunny. It's bright.
Yeah.
It's bright. But good morning to Mayoto and everybody else that's out there in Facebook Live and Instagram Live and YouTube Live. I greet you good morning. Hope all is well as we come down to the final week before Thanksgiving. It's been a crazy week in sports, but all is well. So everybody else is doing okay?
Everybody's doing great over here. We're in New York, so the greatest city in the world. I mean, you got the Queen City, but we got the Big Apple.
Okay.
I don't even know if they call it the Big Apple anymore.
Say that again?
I don't even know if they call it the Big Apple anymore. I haven't heard that phrase in years.
Oh, yeah. Well, it is. It will always be the Big Apple. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But in sports, Cleveland Browns quarterback Baker Mayfield was among the athletes who made it a plea for Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt regarding the status of inmate Julius Jones. I know many of you have been keeping up with this. He was supposed to have been executed a couple of days ago.
Mm-hmm.
But Baker Mayfield and a lot of people was demanding that he will not be executed. They voted 3-1 to recommend Stitt and grant him clemency, which means instead of being executed, he will just serve a life sentence. So late Thursday, Jones was granted clemency to avoid a lethal injection. Mm-hmm. Now, Baker Mayfield, that used to play college football in the state of Oklahoma, was very passionate about this. Led a group of athletes, NBA stars including Russell Westbrook and Trae Young and Blake Griffin and Golden State Warriors coach Steve Kerr,
mm-hmm.
to speak their minds and everything. So
Kim Kardashian
executed, so he will just be serving a life term. But the family, as far as I know, is still fighting his innocence and still would like to get him to be set free.
Kim Kardashian weighed in too.
Kim Kardashian, yeah,
she weighed in too.
Kim Kardashian is involved. She's very good at this. She's always very active in people's innocence, and she's also was part of it. So we'll find out more details as we go along.
Yeah.
NFL great Hall of Famer linebacker Sam Huff had died at the age of 87. The hard-hitting linebacker who helped the New York Giants reach 6 NFL titles games from the mid-50s to the early 60s. It wasn't called Super Bowl back then, but they were called championships. And he became a popular player and also as an announcer. Huff always will be remembered for the ferocious middle linebacker schemes of the 4-3. 4-3 means 4 down linemen, 3 linebackers, and the other way around, the 3-4, which is 3 linemen and 4 linebackers, developed for him by fellow Hall of Famer and friend Tom Landry. The Huff career spanned from 1956 to 1969. His major regret was only winning 1 championship during that span after retiring. As a player, Huff coached for a year with Washington in 1970. Then he soon took a job marketing with Marriott and worked there until 1998. So our prayers go out to the Huff family and wishing them well and for healing. There's 3 big football games coming up on Thanksgiving Day. The first game will be on Fox Network at 12:30. The Chicago Bears, the Chicago Bears will be going to Detroit to play the Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions has been an annual thing for Thanksgiving. At 4:30, the Las Vegas Raiders will be playing the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys will be hosting that. They also been a fixture on Thanksgiving Day as well too. They start on 4:30 on CBS, and in the night game, the Buffalo Bills will travel to New Orleans on NBC, and kickoff will be around 8:20. So everybody, for Thanksgiving, get around the table, watch it with the soldiers. You watch a King Kong movie or any other movies that usually comes around. You have all day to relax and eat and watch TV and take a snooze. In Major League Baseball, yes, Naoto, congratulations, yes. Finally, and it should have been, Shiori Otena, excuse me, Naoto, if I'm not saying it right, wins the American League Most Valuable Player. He deserved it. He's the first pitcher since Babe Ruth to pitch over 100 innings and still hit over 40-some-odd home runs. That's amazing. Congratulations for him. Otero is one of the great hitters and pitchers of our time. We never see this. We never think that we see this again when Babe Ruth did this, but now we see it again, and great. Major League Baseball, again, December 1st, expiration of the collective bargain agreement, which would be followed by a lockout of players and an indefinite shutdown of the sport. So there might be a strike. We're hoping that it's not going to be a strike, but we will see. In the NBA, the basketball has fined Minnesota Timberwolves $250,000 for what it says was a violation of league rules and prevent teams from arranging or paying for off-season practice or group workout sessions for their players outside the team's home market. You got to practice within the home state, the home city, and within your own market, not outside of it. Now, according to the NBA, the violation occurred as a result of the Timberwolves player activities that took place in Miami in early September. Now, the team had a dinner and workout at the home of new minority owner Alex A-Rod Rodriguez in Miami. So Miami and Minnesota, they're not the same. You know, one is in the Midwest, one is in the South. So you got to stay within Minnesota in order for workouts. This is, of course, for COVID-19. Staples Centers is getting a new name starting Christmas Day. This Christmas Day will be called Crypto.com Arena. Downtown Los Angeles, home of the NBA Lakers and Clippers, NHL's Kings, and the WNBA Sparks will change its name after 22 years of operation. Krypton.com is paying $700 million. Did I say that right? $700 million. I guess I did say it right. $700 million just for them to change the name. The 20,000-seat arena has been Staples Center opening October 1999 with the name right owned by the American Office Supplies retail company under a 20-year agreement. Yes, that's the Staples that's all over the country where you buy your supplies for your kids, your grandkids as they start school, but also for office work as well too. Now, along with the sports tenants, the arena has hosted 19 Grammy Award ceremonies, 3 NBA All-Star games, 2 NHL All-Star games, and countless high-profile concerts, performances, and important public events, including the memorials of Michael Jackson, Nipsey Hussle, the rapper, and former NBA star legend Kobe Bryant. So everybody got to get used to the name. The Staples Center is not being changed. In hockey, the NHL, Ottawa Senators' next 3 games have been postponed because of COVID-19 outbreak. Yeah, everybody, this is what we're saying. Just now that the weather's getting cooler now, this virus is going to come even stronger. Dr. Fauci says that people said this morning, I heard him on TV, that there'll be some more deaths. Expect to have more deaths if people are not vaccinated. So who do you believe? What somebody tell you, or politicians, or do you believe somebody who studied medicine? So I'll leave that up to you all. The Senators are due to travel to New Jersey to face the New Jersey Devils on this past Tuesday before returning home for games against the Natural Predators. And on last night, that was last night too as well. Now the New York Rangers are supposed to play them on Saturday. So the next scheduled game after that is Monday, November 22nd at the Colorado Avalanche home arena. Ottawa Senators had 10 players, and assistant coach Jack Capuano test positive for COVID-19 over the past days. In soccer, we talked about Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian helps fly Afghanistan women's soccer team to safety in London early Thursday after being flown from Pakistan with the help of a New York rabbi, Premier League, and Leeds United. A plane chartered by Kardashian carrying more than 30 teenage players and their families, about 130 people in all, landed at Stagnated Airport near London. Now, the players will spend 10 days in coronavirus quarantine before starting new lives in Britain. Britain and other countries evacuated thousands of Afghans this past August in a rush to airlift as Kabul fell to the Taliban. Women's playing sports has seen as a political act of defiance against the Taliban, and hundreds of female athletes have left Afghanistan since the group returned to power and began curbing women's education and freedom. So it's very political. That's something that has to be straightened out, but we can't tell other countries how they run their own government. So that's where we stand. This day, in November 19th, 1951, Roy Campanella named National League MVP on his 30th birthday. On his birthday. Wow. 1953, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled 7-2. Baseball is a sport, not a business. 1978, the miracle on the Meadowlands. Eagles' Herm Edwards returned a fumble for a touchdown with 31 seconds left. We've probably seen that so many times over the years when the Giants was playing the Eagles and they did a blunder. And Herm Edwards returned it. This is when the Giants were really bad. That was in the 70s. 1984, New York met Dwight Gooden. 20 is the youngest to be named National Rookie of the Year. Congratulations. 1990, my man, Barry Bonds wins National MVP for the Pittsburgh Pirates. 2019, LeBron James hits 25 points, 11 rebounds, and this time 11 assists to become the first player to record a triple-double against all 30 NBA teams. That's amazing. Not many people could really say that they could do that, but he was the first to ever do it. Birthdays, as I've just mentioned, Roy Campanella won the MVP on his birthday. Well, today's his birthday. May he rest in peace, continue to rest in peace. Was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. 1938, Ted Turner, founder of CNN, and the Atlanta Braves, born in Cincinnati, Ohio. 1949, Ahmad Rashad, formerly known as Bobby Moore, was once married to Felicia Rashad, Debbie Allen's sister, was born in Portland, Oregon in 1979. Ryan Howard, born in Florissant, Missouri. And in weddings on this day, 1939, Joe DiMaggio weds Dorothy Arnold at St. Peter and Paul Church in San Francisco. And in 1986, Muhammad Ali weds Yolanda Williams. And that is sport.
Yeah.
And before I go on, I want to make a correction on last night when we talked about West Side Story. I want to say it before I forget. There was a gun at the end of the scene when Chino shoots Tony.
Yeah. That's right. But you couldn't see it that well. But there's a part in the new one where the gun is like really, it's a close up of the gun, you know. Because back in those days when they're making movies, they didn't want to. The only time you actually saw a real gun in those gangster movies, but you're right, there was a gun at the end of the show.
Yeah.
Because that's when the kid shot. What was his name? He shot Riff or no? He shot Tony. He shot Tony.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's when Maria, played by Natalie Wood,
yeah,
was singing over him.
Yeah.
To bring him back to
life. You're right. You're right. You're right.
You know, but I'll let you talk about that later on in the show. But yes, I want everybody to enjoy their weekend. Their coming week. Most of all, be safe.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Of course, we're not going to be here next week. We're taking off because we all deserve it. We all deserve the holiday, so we're taking off. It'll be the day after Thanksgiving, but we're going to have all of that. We're taking Talkback Live. We're taking off from that and then taking off from the coffee hour. But we will be back the following week, which will be the 3rd of December.
Okay,
and we
sounds good.
We look forward to
talking.
Like
it's a plan.
Okay, and you enjoy that big turkey.
Yes, I sure will. Thank you so much. Enjoy, everybody.
All right, take care, everybody. That's Brian Kemp, ladies and gentlemen, as he always come along each week with the latest developments in today's world of sports with Sports Update. And thank you, Brian, for that, with all of that great information. One of the things I forgot before he hung up, he mentioned the rapper Nipsey Hussle. When he was giving the information about the changing of the Staples Center in Los Angeles. And last night we were talking about this, and when he said Nipsey Hussle, I got confused with Nipsey Russell. And Nipsey Hussle is the rapper of today. He was the rapper of today, but I got him confused with Nipsey Russell when he said that they memorialized Nipsey Hussle, and I said, and I thought maybe he said maybe he means Nipsey Russell, but he did it right. He did it right. So I just got confused, and I should have known better because Nipsey Russell died years ago. And Nipsey Russell, by the way, in case you don't know who Nipsey Russell is, he always appeared on those game shows a lot, and he was known for his poetry, and he was a comedian as well. And he was a great guy, by the way. I met him once. I ran into him on the street one time, a long time ago. Okay, so we got that cleared up. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we are once again. Thank you for being along with us. If you're just joining us, Brian Kemp just wrapped up his portion of the 2020 feature of the 2020 feature sports update. DJ Pete, that's coming up. We're going to take over for that. In just 1 minute, we're going to take over his portion of the show. Pete is off today. Hopefully, he'll be back with us in 2 weeks, and we'll see what happens. Anyway, just in case you're just joining us, the name of the coffee hour, that's the name of the show, the coffee hour, and we're here drinking coffee and conversating with all of you guys, and all of you guys who have been with us from the beginning. We thank you for being along with us. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, and we're on Instagram too as well. So thank you for being. If you don't catch us on one, you can always catch us on the other. We're worldwide. We're all over the place. So no matter where you go around the world, we're right there with you. We'll always be right there with you. More people coming in. I see more people, so I'll say hi to you guys for dropping by Facebook. I'm just waiting if Facebook is actually going to change that name. I mean, they changed the name already to Meta, but as far as the page go, they didn't redesign the actual website. So I'm not sure how that really works. It's Meta, but it's still Facebook. And as long as I see Facebook there, I'm going to be Facebook. All right. So that's all I can say, unless I don't know how they're going to do this. I'm kind of confused with it, honestly. I'm really confused with it. Okay. It's time for that. Time to give you that information now. It's 20 to the hour, and this is the second part of the 2020 feature. The second part of the 2020 feature. And DJ Pete usually takes this, but he's off today, so we're going to do it for him. And this is what he has today. Buckwheat Zydeco. Buckwheat Zydeco. Not the same buckwheat you know. It's not the same buckwheat you know from the Little Rascals. Not that one. This is another. He's a musician. And his real name was it was Stanley Durrell Jr. Stanley Durrell Jr. That's his name. Real name was Stan, but he used that name Buckwheat Zydeco. And he was born on the 14th of November in 1947 in Lafayette, Louisiana. He passed away September 24th, 2016. So he was kind of fairly young when you look at it. You know, these days, you know, when you get up to around 60s and 70s, you're not really old anymore. You know, that's like the new 40s and the 50s, you know, which is good to know. Anyway, he's celebrating a birthday today. We want to say happy birthday to him in heaven. And so we thank you for that. And more other information. Clyde Mcfadder was born on November 15th. And that, of course, he was born in 1932. Clyde Mcfadder. Clyde Mcfadder was one of the original Drifters before he went out on his own. And he found the Drifters. He found the Drifters. So he was born on the 15th. He passed away June 13th, 1972 at the age of 39. So he died pretty young. He was with Ruth Brown, and they had a son together. Him and Ruth Brown had a son together, and his son is an entertainer now. And then Clyde Mcfadder, you know, as I said, he went out on his own. Jackie Wilson filled his shoes with the Dominoes, because Clyde Mcfadder was with the Dominoes too, as well. And when he left the Dominoes, he went out to do the Drifters, and then went out on his own. And so there you go. Now, it's hard to fill a guy like Clyde Mcfadder's shoes, but then again, Jackie Wilson did it pretty good. Jackie Wilson, a tremendous singer. So there you have it. And further along, there's a guy by the name of Don Donnie. Don Donnie. Don Donnie, that's D-O-A-N-E. I would say that's Donnie. Don Donnie was born November 6, 1931. November 6, 1931. As a matter of fact, his birthday was just last week, right? And he graduated from the South Portland High School at the class of 1949. And, of course, Boston University class of 15-3. Upon graduating, he was inducted into the Army, and he served with honors, too, as a musical talent with the U.S. Army Band. He then worked at the Scarborough Westbrook and the Tony Boffa School of Music, and as a teacher as well. And he did a stint in the national known jazz band, and he toured the world with greats such as Maynard Ferguson, Woody Herman, and Count Basie, Duke Ellington, and his jazz band were famous locally too as well. And that was called by the Donnie. It was called by the Donnie Donnie Band, the Don Donnie Band, and he was provided with many weddings. He did many weddings and graduations and concerts and things like that. And he also recorded several albums worth of music. And our own DJ Pete says he was his band instructor. So DJ Pete played in a band back then. I didn't know that. He was his band instructor. when he was only 11 years old and in the fifth grade yet. But thank you for that information, DJ Pete. Johnny Mercer, classic Johnny Mercer was born on this day, November 18th. Well, actually, it was yesterday. 18th, born on the 18th, and Johnny Mercer was there. Johnny Mercer was a songwriter and musician, and he played with a lot of people. And he was born, as I said, November 18th, 1909, and he passed away June 25th in 1976 at the age of 66. That's Johnny Mercer. Great musician, great talent, and classic too. All that classic stuff. That's what it is. And of course, today celebrating a birthday, bandleader Tommy Dorsey. Bandleader Tommy Dorsey was born on this day in 1905. Tommy Dorsey would have been 116 years old today had he lived. And I don't know anyone who lived as long as Methuselah, but Tommy Dorsey would have been 116 years old. Tommy Dorsey, I'm going to give you a little history about Tommy Dorsey. Tommy Dorsey had a brother by the name of, it was Tommy Dorsey, the Dorsey brothers, Tommy Dorsey and Jimmy Dorsey. Jimmy Dorsey was his brother. But see, Tommy Dorsey was like the guy out front. He was the main cog of the big band era. He played with Benny Goodman and all these guys. Frank Sinatra played in his band, as Frank Sinatra came up in life in the musical industry. So Tommy Dorsey would have been 116 years old. So there you go. Okay, I have birthdays too that I want to talk about. Celebrating a birthday, who would have been celebrating a birthday today, Annette Guest. Annette Guest was a female singer on a group back in the disco era, a group called First Choice. Remember that tune, Dr. Love? Well, Annette Guest sang with that group back then. She's celebrating a birthday today. She is 67 years old. Thank you, and happy birthday to Annette. I had a chance to interview her years ago, along with her other girls on First Choice. Warren Pete Moore, and we just known him as Pete Moore from the Miracles. Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, who's no longer with us. He passed away, of course, and he would have been 82 today. And of course, Henry Hank Medris. He was one of the voices of the Tokens, a group called the Tokens, with the music "The Lion Sleeps Tonight." Wimble wet, the lion sleeps tonight. He would have been 83 today. And so those are all of the birthdays I have today. And thank you, DJ Pete, for sending in all of your information too. DJ Pete has a radio show, and we advise you to go check him out. He's on the air. You can check him out on www.radio-airwaves.co.uk. And he's on there every Monday between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. You could also catch him on WMPG Radio. That's in Portland, Maine. And if you're not in Portland, Maine, or you can't get access to the actual radio show, there's always the website. That's www.wmpg.org or WMPG Radio. And that's every other Tuesday between 8:30 p.m. and 10 p.m. and all times on Eastern Time in the United States and in Canada too. The cops are coming for me. That's why I got to hide out. So get the show on the road. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's 11 minutes to the hour right now, and you're just joining us. The name of the show is called The Coffee Hour. My name is Frank Allan. We thank you so much for being along with us, and what a time we are having here. And again, if you're just joining us, don't make it your last time. If you're the first time viewer, don't make it your last time. Make it a full time. We're here each week, and you can join us here for that. And so I want to say hello to all of you people who are watching us on Facebook, all of you people who are watching us on YouTube. Thanks for coming in. And all of you people who are watching us on Instagram as well. We thank you for your patronage. And you guys are really marvelous. Okay, well, now it's time for us to get going and talk about those movies that you like. You know, those classic movies? and we give you our picks each week. Each week we give you a pick of our movies, and they're all classics. I love classic movies. And the classic movies, I have two movies. Now, one is on Turner Classic Movies. I only have one pick from Turner Classic and one pick from another network, which is called Movies, just plain movies. And I don't know if you ever know anything about that channel. They play classic movies, not as abundant as maybe Turner Classic, but they do play classic movies and play a few others that you haven't seen in a long time as well. And they're the coppers. They're all the coppers. Hey, a copper. Okay. Anyway, this week, Turner Classic Movies will present to you The Tender Trap from 1955 with Frank Sinatra and Debbie Reynolds. That's coming up on this Sunday on Turner Classic Movies at 8 p.m. A great comedy, and I think you'll like it. That's The Tender Trap. Now, the other movie that I have for you is not on Turner Classic Movies. It's just on Movies, but this is a classic that I think you're going to like. You should do it because after the Tender Trap is over, because these movies are not going to overlap. After the Tender Trap is over, I'm getting crazy here. After the Tender Trap is over, you could turn to the movies. It's not the movie channel. It's just called Movies. It's a channel, but it's just called Movies. And it's a film that was done in 1950, and it starred Richard Whitmark and Sidney Poitier, and it's called No Way Out. Sidney Poitier plays a doctor, a African-American doctor, which Richard Whitmark's brother was in the hospital, but he refused to have Sidney Poitier operate on his brother simply because he was black. And of course, all of those racial things, they come into the show. But it was a great movie. I think you're going to like it. It's called No Way Out with Richard Whitmark and Sidney Poitier. And that's this Sunday on Movies at 10 p.m., right after the Tender Trap, 10 p.m. Eastern. And I think you're going to like it, so check it out. Now, if you don't like these films, and I couldn't imagine that you don't, you will like them. You will like them, but there are more to be seen. If you go on Turner Classic Movies, if you go to the schedule, the guide, as they would call it, go to the guide, and you could see there are other movies. And you'll say, oh, he didn't mention this one. But, those are just my picks, the ones I just picked. But there are other great ones. You can check it out. Just go to the guide and you'll check it out. And, of course, too, if you're have access to cable TV, of course, you could always go on Movie On Demand. You can see more Movie On Demand, and you'll have a list of all kinds of great movies from the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, and they're just great movies. You also have pay-per-view movies you can check out. The new movies that are out, you don't have to go to a movie theater these days, and they're all right there online for you, so you can be entertained all you want all weekend long. So go there. And of course, you have all of the network icons you can click on. And just in case you kind of miss something that you wanted to see, like maybe a sporting event, like I like wrestling. And if I miss a wrestling show, I can always go to the network that broadcasted originally and check out the rerun. So you don't have to miss a thing these days. TV has advanced a lot. And it's all over, and you can watch anything you want. It's all right there. And of course, you keep checking Movie On Demand. Check them periodically because they change. They take some off and then put new ones back on, and they repeat others and all kinds of things. It's right there. So let me repeat those movies again for my picks of the weekend. You have The Tender Trap with Frank Sinatra and Debbie Reynolds, and that's on Turner Classic Movie this Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And after that, on Movies, right after that at 10 p.m., No Way Out with Richard Whitmark and Sidney Poitier. That's Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern. And those are all of my classics. I'll have more for you coming up in 2 weeks. We're not going to be here next week, so we'll have some more for you in 2 weeks. So there you go. And that's it. So, Brian talked about West Side Story, and I just wanted to say there is a remake of that movie, West Side Story. There is a remake of that movie, West Side Story. It is. Now, West Side Story, as you already know, with the Jets and the Sharks, from 1960. That was the original one. They are going to release a new West Side Story, a remake. Now, of course, you guys who have known me for years or watched this show for years, and I mentioned many, many times that I'm not into remakes. I'm not into cover records, anything like that, unless, of course, it's outstanding. Um, but this thing here, the West Side Story, this remake of the West Side Story is coming up, and it's going to be released. It's going to be released. Let me see. Let me get the release date there, if I can find it. Yes, I can. Okay, it's going to be released on the 10th of December. The 10th of December. That's when it's going to come out. The 10th of December. And at your theaters. And if you dare, you want to go see it, you can go see it. Brian said he's going to go see it because he likes West Side Story, but it doesn't hurt. I'm not gung-ho about it. Who knows? Maybe I'll change my mind and just become interested in how it comes out, because I don't want to be ignorant about the whole thing. Maybe I can just, we'll see what happens. But anyway, it's a re-release of the next side of the West Side Story, a new generation of actors and a new generation of people who watched West Side Stories, don't know anything about it. Now we have one for your generation, but you got to check out the one in 1960, the original one. That was really great. West Side Story. And that's all happening right here. And we give you all that information. Do you know that our president, our beloved president, President Biden, is going in for his annual physical, and in between now and that time, he have left all of the power, presidential power, over to Vice President Harris. So she's going to be the president for the day. She has all full power of the presidency until he gets back from that physical. We wish him well on that physical. We wish him very well on that physical. We hope he does very well. And we thank you, Mr. President, for doing what you did this week. He signed the infrastructure bill. And I got to tell you, people here in New York City are really excited about the whole thing. We're really excited about the whole thing because now we can get busy and repair some of the things that were broken before they all collapse. The thing, too, that makes it good, the MTA here in New York that runs all of the subways and buses, they are not going to hike the fares for at least the next 6 months. They say they don't have to do it now. I think they were, but maybe after 6 months they will. But for the first 6 months, the next 6 months, don't have to worry about the fare being upped. And for the next 3 years, no cutbacks in service for the next 3 years. So that sounds good. So we're all excited about that. People who ride the subway and buses, they know that they take it to and fro from work and school and other places that they go. They don't have to worry about upping the fares or anything like that. So there you go. So we thank you, Mr. President, for that. And we thank you for making it all possible for all of us, not just New Yorkers, but people all across the country, all across this great country, who will be able to be part of this and collect the money to fix their towns and their cities, and that would be great. So thank you for that. And as you already know, Thanksgiving is coming up. Thanksgiving, of course, and they're getting set for the Thanksgiving parade. There will be a parade. There will be a parade. Also, there will be also the ball dropping. People are coming to Times Square. That's going to be open as it wasn't last year, but it's going to be open. The catch is if you go, you have to have proof of vaccination, show your card, or you have to have proof. If you don't get vaccinated, at least have proof of taking a test before you go there, because they're going to be checking you out. They're going to be carding you. They're going to be looking out for you. So please, keep that in mind. We're going to have to go now, but we'll be back in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, we're taking next week off because of the holiday. We'll be back in 2 weeks, and more of the coffee hour, all of us together, you, me, and the whole 9 yard. Brian Camp will be here along with DJ Pete with Sports Update, his part of the 2020 feature, and DJ Pete with his part of the 2020 feature, 20 to the hour with, of course, entertainment news. And You could also check me out in 2 weeks. Talk Back Live every Thursday from 8 p.m. But we're going to wait. We'll come back on the 2nd for Talk Back Live and on the 3rd for the coffee hour. You guys have a wonderful day and a wonderful week and a wonderful, wonderful holiday. And when we get back, we'll talk about all of that when we get back. Okay, you guys enjoy yourself and have a great one. Take care. Bye-bye.